Welcome to part 27 of this series, trying to locate the sons of Noah and where they really went to. This is going to be our second video on Magog, and we said we're going to look at this Irish legend. And we have Japheth mac Magog, and it says he was a son of Magog, son of Japheth, and the progenitor of the Scythians. And we have this character known as Phineas Farsaid, who comes from Japheth mac Magog. But now there's competing genealogies. Some say they come from Magog, some from Gomer, and there's also a potential option of Javan. So not conclusive, but just want to look at this legend to see what we can find, because it actually potentially helps us with our study. So it's speaking about the Irish and the Milesians and the Gaels, and it says that mankind is descended from Adam through the sons of Noah, and that a Scythian king named Phineas Farsaid is the forebearer of the Gaels. Okay, so the people of like Ireland and Scotland. And it says, Phineas, a prince of Scythia, is described as one of the 72 chieftains who built the Tower of Babel. His son Nell wed Scota, daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh, and they have a son named Godel Glass. And there's legend that maybe this Scota could be where the name Scotland comes from. And I want to jump down to where it speaks to them reaching Hispania, so modern day Spain, and they conquer it. And it says that Goyadel's descendant Briogon founds a city called Brigantia and builds a tower from the top of which his son glimpses Ireland. Brigantia refers to Coruna, then known as Brigantium, in modern-day Galicia in Spain. So this is why I was looking at this, because we've been speaking about this region of Galicia and wondering if this could be connected to this region that we've been speaking about, Galatia. Is the Galicia in Spain actually referring to this Galatia that's on the map here? So please watch the previous videos to know what we're speaking about. But it says here that Briogon's tower is likely to have been based on the Tower of Hercules, which was built at Coruna by the Romans. So I'm not focusing on the legend and whether the legend's true or not. I just want to think about this connection with Galicia and Brigantia, this word Brigantia. So this tower that's in Galicia, so it's in this region that we've been speaking about, this tower, and it says that it's could be the oldest lighthouse in existence and an ancient Roman origin, and it was until the 20th century called Farum Brigantium. So it's this word Brigantium that we're thinking about and focusing on, because I want to go to the Phrygians again. We're speaking about the Phrygians, that Josephus says that they come out of Togarmah. The Phrygians come out of Togarmah, but here it says that the Phrygian is an umbrella term, not speaking about a single tribe or people. So it might not just be Turkic and purely Togarmah. But it's this part here that Herodotus tells us that's interesting. He says that the Phrygians were initially dwelling in the southern Balkans and under the name the Briges, and changed it to the Phryges after their final migration to Anatolia via the Hellespont. But this Balkan origins is disputed or debated. So this part that I want to focus on, because it's saying that the Phrygians, they were called the Briges, and then they changed their name when they reached Anatolia. And now we're wondering about this Anatolia because we've been speaking quite a bit about this region. Saying, are these kingdoms actually, were they in Portugal and Spain, and they've been moved here on the map? But let's focus on this word Briges and see what we can learn, and see how this maybe can fit together, because if we go down where it speaks about it, it says that this word Briges might be connected to the Slavic Breg, or the German Berg, and connected to a mountain. And we can see how it starts to form these words like the Brigantes, the Celtic Brigantes who we're kind of speaking about in this legend, and also the Germanic Burgundians. And they founded this kingdom, well, they called it Brigantia. So you can see that word is very similar to what we're speaking about. But it says that the Phrygians were initially dwelling in the southern Balkans and under the name the Briges, and changed it to the Phryges after their final migration to Anatolia via the Hellespont. But this Balkan origins is disputed or debated. So But here you see how it also has, it gives the meaning potentially of high, elevated, noble, illustrious. So I was just wondering about the Arya, the nations that call themselves the Aryans, because they refer to themselves as noble, or the free men, and they were devoted to worshipping the Vedic gods like Mitra. And if we go look at the Brigantes, so we can see that they were a tribe in Britain, and we can learn a bit more about this word because we can see here that they say it's connected to like being a king, being privileged or prestige. It's almost like they're above. Got connections with power and energy. So, but this part here is interesting because now we can see the influence of this word, and we can see here, look how you've got Bergantinos in Galicia. That's the one we were speaking about with the Tower of Hercules. But look here, you've also got this word here in Portugal with Braga. So isn't that very fascinating? Because if we were looking in Portugal, because remember, we're trying to make a connection between this region. So if we're going to say that Phrygia was actually in Portugal, we have to make a connection between Phrygia and Portugal. And we did speak about this Garda maybe being connected to the capital of Phrygia, which is Gordon. But now we can see that this word Braga is being connected to the Briga. Okay, so this word Braga is being connected to the Briga that we were speaking about. And this Briga, we learned from Josephus, sorry, not Josephus, Herodotus, that they were known as Phrygians. See how those details kind of go together and kind of support what we're actually saying. Let's just go through that again. It's saying that the Phrygians were initially dwelling in the Balkans under the name of the Briges, but they changed it to Phrygian when they came to Anatolia. But now we're wondering about this at Anatolia, whether it's actually speaking about Portugal or Spain. And now we can see the evidence of them in Portugal and Spain when we go look at this word Briges, because we can see how it's impacting these words like Brigantes and Burgundians. And when we go into this page on Brigantes, they tell us that it's connected to the word Braga in Portugal. So isn't that amazing? Because then that kind of brings that connection all together, that these Briges were here in order for this name to be Braga, and to also have, this region here, this tower known as Forum Brigantium. So it shows that they were in this area, and you have this legend of this Briogan founding the city Brigantia. And so that's amazing, because then, if the Briga are here in this region, and they change their name to the Phrygians, then you can see how this region could have been called Phrygia. And then that supports this idea that we've been working on, that potentially this Phrygia was actually Portugal, and this Galatia is this region of Spain that's called Galicia. So I just think that's looking potentially a little bit stronger now, and we just kind of found those details by looking at this Irish legend, which is interesting. And yeah, I'm not sure about, I can't say anything about this conclusively because I don't know if the Gaels are from Magog or Gomer or Javan. I'm not sure, but it's just interesting how this legend brought us to those details to kind of bring more support for this idea of the Phrygians being in this region. And it's interesting how these Phrygians are starting to sound quite similar to the Arya, because the Arya, they worshipped the Vedic gods, and it was invoking them in their treaties we learnt about with the Hittites. And they had it was called Mitra. But the Phrygians, they devoted to their gods, but it's called Mithras. And they wear this cap, this Phrygian cap, to show that they're loyal followers of Mithras. So is Mithras connected to Mitra? And the Arya, they call themselves the noble, like the noble ones. And then we can see that the Briges, they also have this idea of being noble, and that they're privileged and they've got prestige. So it makes me wonder, and if you do watch that video where we speak about can the Bible explain Greek mythology, you'll see that potentially this is all referring to one character, one individual, Mitra or Mithras, and how it comes back, and Hercules keeps getting mentioned in this research that we're doing. But hope you enjoyed this video, and we finished covering all these, let's say the second generation sons of Ham, Japheth and Shem, and we just wanted to try to cover all these sons to try and build a picture of where they went. And I think we know more now than when we started, but obviously you can't cover all the history of mankind in 27 videos, but I think we've learned a lot, and I think in the next video we'll just try and do a bit of a summary and a recap of what we've done. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.